Welcome to the Norwood Board of Education regular board meeting, June 21st, 2018. I hereby call the meeting to order. Please call the roll.
Scott Tracy.
Here.
Bryant. Here. Faulkner. Here. Atwood. Here. Ballard.
Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Next item is the adoption of the agenda. May I have a motion for the adoption of the agenda?
I'll make the motion.
I have a motion for the adoption. May I have a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Bryant. Any discussion? Please call the roll.
Atwood.
Yes.
Bryant.
Yes.
Faulkner.
Yes.
Scott Tracy.
Yes. Next item is approval of the minutes for the meeting on June 21st, 2018, the regular board meeting, the approval of the minutes for May 8th, the special board meeting, and the approval of the minutes for May 17th, regular board meeting. May I have a motion for approval of the minutes?
So moved.
I have a motion.
I'll second.
Second by Mr. Atwood. Any discussion? Please call the roll.
Faulkner.
Yes.
Atwood.
Yes.
Bryant.
Yes.
Scott Tracy.
Yes. Next item are the presentations. Dr. Sabo.
Thank you, Madam President. We would like to honor you tonight. So, Ms. Chair Scott Tracy, would you come forward, please? You have been so very good to the district for so many years. And we just love you and we love what you've done. You've certainly kept at the heart of all that you've done the thought about children. So we know that we're going to miss you very much. And so from all of us, we wish you well, but we want to say a huge thank you. So thank you. This is for you. Thanks very much. You're not quite finished, Cherry. We know that you can't do good work without your family being behind you. So her family is with her here tonight. I would love for you all to come forward and have a great photo.
Okay.
They didn't know they were going to be in a picture. I can tell. So come forward. We want a great photo with you.
Put my picture clothes on.
That's okay. You can stand in the back.
Yeah, we'll all stand in the back.
Single file.
How's that? Close enough.
That's beautiful.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you for the donation of your time and talents.
You don't have to stay.
We'd like to make another presentation this evening, and that is for our treasurer, Ernie Strasser. Ernie, would you come forward? Ernie has worked for the district since 2009. He has guided the board, and he certainly has shared his expertise on many levels with me this year. I know we are very grateful for your contribution to the district. On behalf of all the children and the teachers and the Board of Education, we want to thank you and all the best to you.
All right. Thank you.
Ernest, Christina needs to capture it.
I tried, she works up quick.
We do.
It really should be just him, though.
Okay, that's enough.
Thank you, Madam President, for that moment.
Or you want me to leave? Is that what you're saying? You don't want me to find out what's going on here? All right.
Please stay for you.
We have a lovely packing case for your wall ornament.
Ballard.
I have still not heard anything back yet on the progress for the rest of the summer programs or any updates. So I have no news, and that's, I guess, good news.
We need a recommendation for the approval of the handbooks.
We do. Hang on one sec. Where am I? There we are. All right, we have thought we did this last month, that's why I'm a little confused. All right, the 2018-2019 student handbooks for the high school and middle school. The PDFs are again listed in your board docs and available for you. All the changes that we updated and were filled in on last month, I believe there have not been any new changes since that reading last month. We also have, let's see here, a motion to approve the Maxim Healthcare Service contract for this upcoming school year. Again, those contracts are listed in your board docs. Under 3.3, we have approval for the Talbot House Memorandum of Understanding. Again, listed under your board docs. And 3.4, the Avenues for Success Summer Camp Field Trip, approval to Skyward Adventures in Brookville, Indiana.
All right, we have a motion for approval of all the items listed. Can I have a second?
I'll second.
Second by Mr. Bryant. Any discussion? Please call the roll.
Ballard,
Yes.
Bryant,
Yes.
Atwood,
Yes.
Faulkner,
Yes.
Scott Dracy.
Yes. Item 4 is personnel, superintendent recommendations. Dr. Sabo.
Thank you, Madam President. I'd like to recommend for approval under 4.01 resignations, and under 4.02 employment.
Okay.
Just making sure that it's not moving.
4.01 resignation. Do we have a motion, or we'd like to have a motion for approval of the resignations as listed? Do we have a motion?
I'll make the motion.
Motion by Mr. Atwood. May I have a second?
I'll second.
Second by Ms. Ballard. Any discussion? Please call the roll.
Atwood,
Yes.
Ballard,
Yes.
Faulkner,
Yes.
Bryant,
Yes.
Scott Dracy.
Yes. We have a motion for approval of employment listed under 4.02 as listed.
All motion.
That is items 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12.
12 items, yes. So we have a first motion by Ms. Ballard. May I have a second?
I'll second.
Second by Mr. Bryant. Any discussion? Please call the roll.
Ballard,
Yes.
Bryant,
Yes.
Atwood,
Yes.
Faulkner,
Yes.
Scott Dracy.
Yes. Next item is policy committee report. Mr. Atwood.
Thank you, Madam President. With the board's approval, I would like to make a motion to have the second reading and full implementation of the new policy changes. Those include the evaluation of professional staff, Ohio teacher evaluation, administrators with professional and support, criminal records check, evaluation of professional staff, Ohio teacher evaluation system, administrators, both professional and support, suspension and termination of professional staff members, professional staff hiring, support staff recruiting, posting vacancies and hiring, the part-time and substitute professional staff employment, part-time, temporary, and substitute support staff employment, support staff assignments and transfers, suspensions, demotion, termination of support staff members, career technical education, college credit plus. That is a large list of policies that we are amending. So with the board's approval, I'd like to make a motion to have the second reading and full implementation of the listed policies.
All right, we have a motion. May I have a second?
I'll second.
Second by Mr. Bryant. Any discussion? Please call the roll.
Atwood,
Yes.
Bryant,
Yes.
Ballard,
Yes.
Faulkner,
Yes.
Scott Dracy.
Yes. Item 6, buildings and ground committee report. Mr. Bryant.
Yes, Madam President, with the board's approval, I'd like to make a motion for item 6.01 Evidence for Success play practice at the high school mini auditorium on Wednesday evenings, June 20th to August 11th from 5:30 to 8. And Saturday mornings, 10 to 11:30. And then evidence for success again for Bounce Back to School, Norwood Middle School front lawn, Saturday, August 4th, from 10 to 2:30, and the evening, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. So I'm making a motion for approval.
All right, we have a motion for approval of facilities requests. May I have a second?
I'll second.
Second by Mr. Faulkner. Any discussion? Please call the roll.
Bryant.
Yes.
Faulkner.
Yes.
Ballard.
Yes.
Atwood.
Yes.
Scott Dracy.
Yes. Next item is Finance Committee report, Mr. Faulkner.
Thank you, Madam President. Recommendation of committee, I'd like to make a motion for the approval of item 7.01, the financial report. 7.02, the approval of the Duke Energy grant and easement. 7.03, the approval of the county auditor budgetary spreadsheet, including the estimated resources, prior year encumbrances, and future year 2018 appropriations, or fiscal year, I'm sorry, 2018 appropriations, mine went blank. 7.05, approval of the fiscal year 2018 advances and transfers. 7.06, the approval of property vehicle liability insurance renewal through Liberty Mutual. 7.07, the approval of the POs over $20,000. 7.08, the approval of total for transportation reimbursement for the 2017-2018 school year. 7.09, approval of the LISW contract for Ms. Joanne Payne for 2018-2019 school year. 7.10, the approval of the Norwood Division detail pay rate. 7.11, the approval of the Butler County ESC curriculum services. And 7.12, the approval of the urology group payment in lieu of taxes consent letter.
All right. We have a motion for approval of 7.2, 7.03, 04, 05, 06, 07, 08, 09, 10, 11, and 12. May I have a second?
I'll second.
Second by Mr. Bryant. Any discussion?
I do have one question for clarity.
Okay.
On the 7.07 approval of POs over $20,000, could someone please define what the PCNG Global what that is?
Is that related to E-rate? I apologize for not telling you.
That the purchase of our
Yeah,
new
that's the name of the
Chromebooks.
company
Okay.
with all the technology for new devices.
Okay.
So that's
Laptops.
all the laptops that we're getting. They're actually flip books, so they're a combination laptop and tablets.
Okay.
And they're for teachers.
They're for the teachers.
They are.
Okay.
They are. Presently, I'm not sure how many years we've used these, but they're coming to the end of their life.
Yes.
And so these are our replacements.
Right.
Okay. No, that's fine. I
And we
just,
actually did a brief demo at our committee meeting, but we'll be happy to do another one to just share more of the details of
no,
how this
I figured this was
works.
something that was covered in committee. And I just,
It is. It's something we've worked toward for a while and have been pretty thoughtful about how to purchase. And I think are they about $1,200 each, I want to say?
Yeah, even since committee, we were able to get a more reduced rate because it's very tight with technology. So once you said that we're okay with it, move forward, Mr. Greenstaff was able to secure a better cost, which is why the purchase order is reduced more than what we thought. It also includes some adapters for the teachers to use. And the other IT, I believe that's our projectors in that $54,000 that for the middle school.
Yeah.
That's included in there.
okay.
Thank you for asking.
No, thank you.
Please call the roll.
Faulkner.
Yes.
Bryant.
Yes.
Ballard.
Yes.
Atwood.
Yes.
Scott Dracy.
Yes. Item 8 is the resignation of board member. 8.1, approval of resignation. May I have a motion for approval of the resignation of
No.
Cherry Scott Geraci? wait, come on.
I'll motion.
Okay. We have a first by Mr. Faulkner and a second by Ms. Ballard.
If we have to. I
That's
will
what you
say
really
it's
want.
Any
with
discussion?
duress, with duress.
Is this what you really want?
Not really, but I'm moving out of the city, so I appreciate everybody. I appreciate everybody that I've worked with, all the teachers, the staff, all the administration. I'm gonna miss it, I really am, but I know you guys will carry on and do great things and continue to do great things, and I'm not far away, so I'll be watching. I'll still be, have my opinions, don't, I know your numbers. Thank you. So we have a first and a second, please call the roll.
Faulkner,
Yes.
Ballard,
Yes.
Atwood,
Yes.
Bryant,
Yes.
Scott Tracy.
Yes. And item 9 is the election of a president. And I have a motion to elect the president of the Board of Education. The president pro tem will continue to preside over the meeting at this time. Any member of the Board of Education may nominate someone for the office. It should be noted that nominations do not require a second. If more than one person is nominated for each position, the treasurer will publicly call the roll, and the board will vote on their choice.
I'd like to make a motion for Scott Faulkner to be nominated to serve out the rest of the year as president of the Board of Education.
Okay, we have a nomination for Scott Faulkner. Any others?
I was going to nominate Tim Bryant.
I was also going to nominate Tim to just slide over into the seat, but I would like to have Mr. Faulkner take over as vice. Most experienced here.
So we have two nominations, so
Can I withdraw? I'll withdraw from the presidency. Thank you, but I'll withdraw on this one.
looks like it's you.
Okay.
Okay.
Out for
We have,
the vice
we have
president.
Mr. Tim Bryant being nominated for president. May I have a second? I think we have a
I'll second.
second. Mr. Faulkner?
Ballard,
Yes.
Faulkner,
Yes.
Atwood,
Yes.
Bryant,
Yes.
Scott Tracy.
Yes. All right. Now,
You're fine to continue as is.
All right.
Your resignation's not effective until tomorrow.
okay.
And we used language straight out of our organizational meeting, so I didn't catch that, and that was my fault on that.
That's all
But
right.
the motion to approve or president is what you were accomplishing effective tomorrow.
Right.
So you still get to call until midnight tonight.
Okay.
It's going to be a long meeting.
Oh, gosh. 10.01 is the approval of a board vice president. May we have a nomination for the vice president position?
Make a nomination for Scott.
I'd also like to nominate Scott.
We have a nomination for Scott Faulkner. Any other nominations? We have a second by Ms. Ballard. Please call the roll.
Bryant,
Yes.
Faulkner,
Yes.
Ballard,
Yes.
Atwood,
Yes.
Scott Tracy.
Yes. Next item is hearing of the public. We do not have any requests. Item 12 are reports. 12.01 are reports for the Norwood budget policy.
That's just the public hearing.
Oh, the public, oh,
Yeah.
okay. We don't have any. We have board announcements. 12.82, anyone have any board announcements? Are we in?
As you know, the board's been searching for your replacement, and we have collected 3 resumes from, I don't know how to say the name, Alice Rarica, Valerie Orza, Joy Rourke. So we've printed these resumes and cover letters for the board to review before our special meeting where we'll interview them. If I receive any more resumes, I'll forward them to you via email so that you are up to date, and then I can call for the board and set up interviews.
So the through tomorrow, Applications can be sent in, and your special board meeting is the 26th.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. 12.03 Superintendent's Report.
Thank you, Madam President. We do have some good news to share. Of course, we were all at graduation, but graduation was certainly a joyous occasion, and it was really just a great evening. We graduated over 170 students, and we're working to stay in touch with that graduating class. But prior to leaving, though, they did participate in a survey that will aid us to better serve our present students through the eyes of our recent graduates. So it was a pleasure to have the graduating class of 1968 there to shake the hands of the graduates as they entered. I spoke actually at Businesswoman the other night to a member of the class of 1969, and she noted how excited they are to get the opportunity to stand there and shake the hands of the graduating class of 2019. So I think we have a great tradition to continue to uphold. I want to let you know that construction is progressing at the middle school, formerly known as our high school. You know, we also call her the Grand Lady on Sherman Avenue. And we are committed to making that space safe, warm, cool, and dry. We have run into a pipe with asbestos in the attic, and the best approach was to contain it due to construction. The building has been tested for years by our environmental tester, and in construction mode, we are having the building tested extensively. So if we find any more, we'll remove it or we'll contain it as recommended by our environmental specialist. So Monarch Construction and SHP, our architects, are working hard to have the west wing ready for the 7th and 8th graders in August. Across the district, students are participating in Avenues for Success summer programming, transition camp, and summer school learning. I do have some sad news to share about two very special leaders from our Norwood family. This month we lost Norwood graduate and former Superintendent Dave Query and former principal of Sharpsburg Elementary, Don Daly. And those two individuals really touched the lives of many faculty and students, and we wish their family to know that their lives really did make a positive difference in the lives of so many of us here in Norwood. So lastly, I just want to remind everyone, I know I reminded everyone last month, but I want to remind everyone this month that the community will come together on Tuesday, July the 24th for the Norwood Day Parade. It kicks off at 7 p.m. And followed by that, the very next day is Norwood Day at Old Coney on the 25th. And this concludes my report.
Thank you. Next item, 1204, Great Oaks Report, Mr. Faulkner.
Thank you, Madam President. They had their summer camp. It was the third year for the summer camp, which is a 4 to 5 day camp. It's offered at all 4 of the Oaks campuses. 230 students attended this year. Laurel Oaks is going to be offering 2 new programs, I believe this fall is what they said, web applications and game development. And then the last thing is 2018 November, they're going to have a levy for the Oaks on the ballot this year. So I'm watching for that. That concludes my report.
Thank you. 1206 is the legislative report, Mr. Adler.
Thank you, Madam President. Well, as we would normally have a very quiet summer, but this year, since the Ohio House went through some period of time without a House Speaker, now that they have elected a new Speaker, they're trying to do some catch-up work. So there has been some activity, specifically regarding 2 House bills. This week, on 6/20, House Bill 342 was passed. This is a House bill that changes the ballot language for levies. So it's using the term market value rather than express the levy as a tax valuation. So what this means for us potentially is that we're going to have to put in verbiage to make levy ballots very clear. Specifically because they're using market value, you're going to have to separate what's Class 1 versus Class 2 property so people understand what the difference in how that's going to be taxed. Whether or not taxpayers have certain discounts, such as the Homestead Act, and then whether or not rollback is in play for residential versus commercial property. What this means for us as we go and having to do another levy in the few upcoming years is it's going to make for a very long, very complicated, very wordy ballot item. And I think this is going to sow a lot of confusion. But this House bill was passed, and this is something that we're going to have to deal with. The other thing that is going to a House floor vote next week is House Bill 343. And this House bill is very important to us because this is placing new requirements on school districts when we are challenging property values. So I believe this has already passed the Senate side, so as soon as this is passed through the House, we're going to have to provide some extra notifications and jump through a few more hoops when we're challenging property values. So it just makes it more difficult for us. But those two items are what's currently moving through and heading through the House.
Thank you. 13.01, approval of future meetings. I'd like to make a motion for approval of the meeting on June 20, that's we've already had. Motion to approve future meetings listed. Monday, June 26th at 5:30, special meeting at the Board of Education, 2132 Williams. Thursday, July 5th, a special meeting at 5:15 at the Board of Education office. Thursday, July 5th, committee meeting at the Board of Education office at 5:30. And Tuesday, July 31st, a regular board meeting at 6 p.m. at the Board of Education office. I have made a motion for approval. May I have a second?
I'll second.
Second by Mr. Bryant. Any discussion?
Yes, Madam President, June 26th is actually on Tuesday.
Oh, okay. So that will be Tuesday, June 26th, for the special meeting at 5:30 p.m. Thank you. Any other discussion? Please call the roll.
Scott Dracy,
Yes.
Bryant,
Yes.
Ballard,
Yes.
Atwood,
Yes.
Faulkner.
Yes.
Our next item is to enter into executive session. May I have a motion to enter into executive session?
I'll make the motion.
Okay, in accordance with item 1? Item 1, in accordance with ORC 121.22G1, the appointment, employment, dismissal, discipline, promotion, demotion, or compensation of a public employee or official, or the investigation of charges or complaints against a public employee, official, licensee, or regulated individual. We have a motion by Mr. Atwood. We have a second.
I'll second.
Second by Amber Ballard. Any discussion? Please call the roll.
Atwood,
Yes.
Ballard,
Yes.
Faulkner,
Yes.
Bryant,
Yes.
Scott Dracy.
Yes. We will enter into executive session at 6:27.